Welcome back to the Daily Hunt. I'm Henry, and as always, we will be covering a broad analysis and I'll be giving you my insights and predictions for the stock market, crypto, and commodities. I will also be giving you some new ideas and opportunities I'm looking at and the ones that I've also traded yesterday and the last few days. So as you can see here, I'm currently looking at the stock heat map, and this kind of gives me a visual of what's happening and where cash is flowing into. We're seeing producer manufacturing being generally positive in the last few days. GEV has been on my list, and it was an opportunity that I shared in my Discord group. And we have Tesla. Retail continues to do pretty well. If you looked at my previous videos, you would have seen that they've done pretty well. And we have tech. BAR. So if we remove Microsoft, all of tech has been doing pretty well here, with Oracle 45%. Absolutely insane for one of the largest market cap tech companies out there. We have Nvidia performing pretty well, and AVGO. Big moves here with Oracle and AVGO. So we're seeing flows going back into these larger caps, tech plays, electronic tech, and also technology services. We've also had healthcare do pretty well here as well. United Health continues to move fairly well for us. I had that in my portfolio, and we have Tesla as well, which is doing pretty well for us in the last week or so. Overall, this is where the current state of the market. This is where money is flowing in the last week or so. We had last week a lot of the smaller caps doing well, and we had finance underperforming and being sold off. We now see large caps being pushed higher, and with AVGO and Oracle with some really high gains there in just a week. Okay, so that's kind of the heat map now. So sorry about the lack of, let's say, fluidity here with showing the charts. It's just I'm working while I am on holiday. As you can see here, I've mentioned in the last few videos that we are on the verge of breaking above this box, and that's exactly what's happened. And for me, the bullish momentum really kicks in when we break the midpoint of this channel and we move towards 6.7K. That's what I'm looking for. That's what we're getting. And then I will be looking for the RSI being overbought to potentially start scaling out of positions. At the moment, it's looking quite bullish. We are going into CPI data today. So this is going to be crucial for us to know, not to know whether interest rates will be reduced on the 17th, but to know how much by. I think most of the market is sure that we're going to get some interest rates reduced by at least 0.25%. We could be getting them reduced by 0.5. So that's where the situation is. We want to see where inflation is. If inflation is flat, it'll probably be a lot higher than 0.25. If inflation is increasing, then we're probably looking at a small reduction in interest rates on the 17th of September. So big news here. This will move the market. It might create some volatility as well, so be prepared for any volatility today. The NASDAQ has been flat, and it's still doing this head and shoulder pattern, or you could say a wedge as well, because we could easily draw a wedge here or here. But yeah, it's kind of looking, for me, it's looking bearish, even though it's moving up higher, just because it broke the channel and it's broken the current structure that's been there since May. It could be a distribution zone as well before a dip. And again, I think the key here is don't buy the broader market, don't buy the NASDAQ, don't buy everything. Buy the best picks. So if you bought Oracle, you'll be fine. If you bought AVGO, you'll be doing well. And if you bought some of the other picks that I've shared as well in the last few days, you would have done pretty well in your portfolio. That's where the NASDAQ is. Personally, I kind of see a barrier here around the 24.1K, and then we would be looking at the midpoint of this break-in for higher levels. The Russell 2000 is dipping. That's because flows are going into smaller caps, are going into larger caps, excuse me, and then we're seeing smaller caps being sold off. I think we could be seeing a drop here to the midpoint, a support level, and then when the interest rates get reduced, if they get reduced on the 17th of September, we get small caps moving up higher and creating new levels. And the new level would be somewhere from 2.35K to around 2.44 or 2.5. That would be the run that we could be going on with small caps. The VIX is flat. So a few days of movement downwards, a few days up. We are seeing resistance around this level here. And for me, I would be cautious if we go above 15.6. That's the level. And then on the short side, I want to see this under 14 if we're really going to get some bullish momentum in the markets. That's what I'm watching for. And I think we are at that point where we're about to decide. And even if you look at this chart, we're seeing a inverted head and shoulder pattern. I'll draw that for you here really quickly. So we have the left shoulder of the head, and then we have the right shoulder here. Okay. So we have kind of a level that we can break above here. Okay. So that's the VIX. Now I want to go into some of my stock plays and how they're doing. I was big on China, and I've invested in a few Chinese stocks. We've seen these drop off a little bit here and sell off. Alibaba sold off a little bit yesterday, but recovering today. We had BIDU as well sell off a little bit yesterday, recovering today in pre-market. And then we have IQ sold off yesterday, but we've had a nice run here. And I think this is just a dip. This is a bit of profit taking, and then we'll probably move up higher. I'm looking for a little bit of a longer swing trade here on these ones, maybe weekly plays, monthly plays. So I'm willing to hold through and just be patient in these opportunities. We have ENGN, which has been doing really well for us. This has been performing went up 13% yesterday, and I think we're up around 40%. Let's just see the zone that I bought it at, which was around $4. We had 14. Yeah, we're up around 50% on this trade, doing really well for us, and I think we still have room for some upside here. It's looking like it's becoming a bit toppy here, so maybe we consolidate, maybe we get a little bit of a dip. Again, these are swing trades, so I'm willing to hold a little bit, take profit off the table as well. This is part of just what I do. You know, I will sell 10-20% on the way up, and then we might buy when it dips again to add to the position. CCJ uranium, just a breakout here. Today is probably a decisive day, so we're going to find out whether this will move up high or not. And then we have the HAIN cholesterol group moving well here, but still kind of volatile within the day, up and down. Went up as high as $2.08 and went back down to $2 here. So we're seeing a bit of volatility. Yesterday we added BMNR. Okay, now with SBET, again, sharp link, Ethereum theme here, a bit early on this trade. I am trading a lower time frame on this one, and I think we can easily break above this level now. And the main reason is we have this trend line here breaking I thought I could take a trade here, be a bit early and see how it goes. We have Coinbase as well, which had a dip yesterday, moving well today with crypto moving a little bit higher. That's again with the crypto theme. And then we have my list of quantum plays like QBTS, IONQ, Rigetti, which I feel like we should still be watching. I shared them yesterday as well. So go and check these out. I don't want to repeat myself here as well with these ones, but QMCO looks very, very nice for a consolidation and then a move up higher. And that's it. These are the ideas that I'm working with right now. There's obviously going to be new ideas as and when the market gives us opportunities. But for today, these are the general themes and ideas that I'm looking at. That's stocks covered. And if you guys are interested in learning more about the way I trade and the opportunities that I look at every day, you can go and join the Discord group. The link is in the bio. The link is actually in the description. Okay, so now we're going to be covering crypto. So we'll start with Bitcoin, the current situation here. Yesterday I mentioned that for me, the bullish scenario starts around 113.6. And if we close above that, then we should start to look for bullish signs and take bullish positions. That's what's happened yesterday. We broke that level and we closed at 13.9. And now, my opinion is that we might get a slight dip or a consolidation today, or we could even see a push up higher, but maybe we get a slight dip or consolidation today, and then we get a move up higher. So it could be maybe a bit of a lag or a bit of a delay before we move up higher, but it's looking very, very positive for Bitcoin. And I think this is connected to Bitcoin dominance needing to rise. So we've had another bearish divergence, bullish divergence. We've had another dip here in the Bitcoin dominance. And I think on the monthly, it's looking like we need to go a little bit higher. Now, of course, we could break this 57.6% level and then completely start a alt season, we would call it, or Bitcoin's dominance to fall and then flows to go into alts. But for me, I think we probably move up higher here, whether that's going to be this month or next month. We have to do a bit of a move higher, and then we move lower around November. That's my kind of prediction for the broader net market and for Bitcoin for the next 2 to 3 months. That's where we are. We like I said, we probably see a bit of a spike here. We go to create a head and shoulder pattern and then move up, move down, or we continue to consolidate here for a weekly consolidation where it takes maybe another month or so of break-even months or months that kind of just sit around a sideways market. We have Ethereum. I have mentioned that with Ethereum, I am looking above 4.5K for the bullish scenario, and I'm looking under 4.2K for the bearish scenario. I've opened an initial position yesterday with Ethereum around this 4.4K level. I shared that in the Discord group, and I'm looking to add at around 4.5 if I see full momentum kicking in today. It's looking pretty good today. We are seeing 2% gains here in pre-market, and we've seen some other alts performing pretty well. Okay, so that's Ethereum. Nothing really to see here other than those two zones that I mentioned. And then yesterday, our portfolio is doing pretty well with RAB starting to bounce here and move up higher. We had AVAX yesterday gain around 13%. Yes, today is down 2%, but we've gained 13%, and we've hit the first level here. We've hit that 29 level that had as a target for a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, and it's looking pretty good for us to continue higher if the market continues to move higher in alts. EIGN now is recovering. We've had that dip. Today we're moving up higher. And this is how alts function. So we have maybe a certain group of alts performing well one day, and then the next day it'll be another group. So today we have EIGN, RAB, Ethereum, and a few others. Yesterday we had AVAX and a few other ones performing well. So it kind of all balances out here. Mana is also bouncing up and moving higher. So it's looking pretty good. And as new ideas, I'm looking at ALGO here. I'm looking at ALGO and I'm looking at HBAR as new opportunities that we can trade today. So that's it for crypto. Now I want to go into commodities. So I'm going to go into analyzing the Dixie first. So the dollar. The dollar is rising, showing some tensions and volatility in the markets. I think there are fears because of the CPI data coming out today of a sell-off in the market. The market is showing signs of a distribution as well, and it's also moving sideways. So yes, I can see why the dollar is rising here, and why we might see, let's say, a bit of a rise and then resistance. Overall, I would like to see this level broken for the bullish scenario on the dollar and the bearish scenario in the markets. We should now look at gold. Gold is looking quite toppy here. I think we probably need a bit of a consolidation, maybe a dip to around 3.5K. Once we get the dip to 3.5 or 3.4K, 3.45K, then we can probably get another momentum move for the long side. Silver also showing similar signs here with a consolidation. And then we have the other metals showing weakness as well, with natural gas flat today, with a little bit up, but mostly flat after this dip. And I think this could be a key opportunity for a buy up or maybe a deeper dip and then a buy up. That's where we stand with commodities, and I think this is where I will end the video. So if you guys enjoyed this content, I suggest you subscribe and also hit the notification bell. Every day I share new ideas with you guys and opportunities. So here you are with some of the ideas I have in the markets. The market hasn't changed much in the last 2 to 3 days. We are looking for the momentum play, a breakout, and for new levels to be created. And I think CPI data today could trigger that, but maybe we just have to wait for next week with the final decision by the Fed on interest rates. Also, go and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and join my Discord group. Take care.